Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Keep It Real MMA. If you're new, please like and subscribe. You'll quickly find out why I call myself Keep It Real MMA. I keep it real, like I said. Basically, I told you guys to keep a lookout. If you've seen my other videos, please run them up. But yeah, in my other videos, I said keep a lookout on these for these videos, because I'm gonna post the Strickland versus Imavov card now, because it was supposed to be Gaslam, but obviously Sean Strickland stepping in on very, very short notice. So yeah, let's just get it ball rolling. And yeah, it's gonna be very hard for me to see my monitor, because I got like this stand thing, and that's why, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my last couple of videos, it's been higher from when I've been downstairs on my desk. It's been a lot higher, because usually I added like down here, but now you can see me better. So yeah, I'm glad I got that addition there. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard for me to see my monitor, but I'm able to read it if I put it at a certain angle, so it's all good. Anyway, guys, this fight card obviously is UFC Fight Night Strickland versus Imavov. If you're new here, when I do the card videos, where there's a fight night or prelim, I'll go all the way from the start of the card, the prelims, all the way up to the main event, and I give my thoughts, reaction, I give a breakdown, prediction, I make it as detailed as possible, and try to win you guys some money. But as always, though, I always say to you, please bet responsibly and please bet safely, and yeah, so just don't be stupid about it. But also, I believe that, you know what I mean, I had a very, I was top 3 of 2022 with predictions, so I know what I'm talking about. But at the same time, I've got a lot of crazy ones wrong, and it is what it is. But that's the game of betting, right? So anyway, please bet safely, and you don't have to take everything I say face value. Anyway, first fight on the card, Priscilla Capoeira versus Sayora Eubanks. Fuck it, 2 names I can't even say properly. I'm gonna go with Priscilla Capoeira. Soraya Eubanks is she's kind of shit, and I'm not saying like Priscilla's class either, but like the thing is like with Eubanks, she's been very inactive. Priscilla had a very good TKO win over Ariana Lipski in her last fight. She looked very good. I do believe that she's very much improved her boxing, and she's very good in the pocket, as you can see, against Lipski. And I know Lipski isn't the best striker; she's more of a jiu-jitsu girl. But to see that Priscilla actually, you know, used her hands very well in the pocket, and Eubanks is one of those fighters where she's very inactive and she makes the fights very close and just loses really badly. I mean, she beat Elise Reed, but that was Elise Reed moving up a weight class from strawweight on short notice. Eubanks is just not that good, and I am banking, literally banking on Priscilla to win this fight pretty handedly. The odds, though, it says Priscilla is a plus 185 underdog and Sayora Eubanks is a minus 230 favorite. I think that's bullshit. But if that's the case, you should win a lot of money on Priscilla. Or Priscilla, however the fuck you say it. But yeah, that's what I'm going with, Priscilla Capoeira. By 29-28 decision. Maybe she loses the first round, wins the second and third. Next fight on the card, the odds are not on this fight. Charles Johnson versus Jimmy Flick. I like the activity of Charles Johnson. I am going to go with Charles Johnson by decision. I'm going to go with 30-27. Jimmy Flick, I don't like Jimmy Flick's mindset. Because the problem with Jimmy Flick, he's very inactive, and then when he fights, like he said in his last fight that he's retiring or something, but then he comes back to fight Charles Johnson. And don't get me wrong, Charles Johnson versus Makayev was very close, and people don't understand, it was a very close fight. It wasn't a blowout by any means. It was very close, and you can make an argument for him winning that fight. Against Zalgas, though, he clearly should have lost. He got a robbery win. But the fact that he's very active at 31 years of age, so he's in his prime, he's very active, and, you know, he's clearly making the improvements. I generally do think that he can beat Jimmy Flick, and I think he'll beat him by 30-27 off of mindset and striking. It's like you can't say you're retired and then not retire. And then he's got good grappling, but Charles Johnson also got a great takedown defense. I think he got the better hands, and I think he's going to hurt Jimmy Flick in a couple of situations where he's going to land great shots. Jimmy Flick's going to be wobbled a bit, but then survive, and then it's just going to kind of be like a back and forth type thing where Charles Johnson clearly wins all 3 rounds. So I'll go Charles Johnson by 30-27 unanimous decision, and yeah, that's how I see it going. not much to say on the fight. Also, no odds on this fight. Daniel Orgeta versus Nick Aguirre. Can't really say his name properly. But I am going to go with Daniel Orgeta. I think experience plays a big factor into this fight. I mean, I do have a couple of notes on it. I just note, like, the biggest things about him. I'd say, like, obviously he's got great takedown defense with a great chin. But the biggest thing I could say about his experience, because, like, the problem with Nick Aguirre is I don't see him catching Daniel Orgeta in the way that he wants to. And the thing is, like, Nick hasn't really fought the best of competition. I'm not saying Daniel Orgeta's fought absolute killers from start to finish, but I do think that Daniel Orgeta is the better fighter, and I do believe he's going to get it done by decision. That's how I see the fight going. There's not much to say on it, but it's like, yeah, that's why I see the fight going. Next fight on the card. Sorry for some of them. It's not really much detail I can go in. I just got Daniel Orgeta by 29-28 or 30-27, one of the two. I just think that he's just the better fighter, man. I really do. So yeah. Anyway, next fight on the card. Alan Nascimento versus Carlos Hernandez. Alan Nascimento is a -340 favorite. Carlos Hernandez is +280 underdog. You've got to go with Alan Nascimento. There's a reason why he's such a big favorite. He's just better all around, fought better competition, and to be honest with you, the experience actually does play a factor into this. And to be honest with you, sorry, my head's fucked. But to be honest with you, I don't think the odds should be that big, but at the same time, I just think that Alan's going to be able to get this done by decision. I think he get it done by 30-27. I just think that he's the better fighter. Like I said again, it's hard to talk on these fights because it's like, do you get what I mean? It's hard to talk on these fights because it's like you should just know Alan Nascimento is definitely the better fighter, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. Next fight on the card. No odds on this one, by the way. Wait, has this fight changed? Wait, have they? I don't know. Anyway, next fight on the card. Javid Basharat versus Matias. No, they haven't changed it. Mendonça. I am going to go with Javid Basharat. Tough fight for Mendonça on his debut. It's not going to be great. Javid Basharat, he is almost good enough to be in the rankings right now. I think if you put him up against like a Ricky Simon or a Jack Shaw, put him up against like someone around those things, I think Javid Basharat will lose. But the comfortableness and the way that he is in the octagon, I think that is more than enough to beat Mendonça. I think you've got to be quite a very good talent to beat Javid Basharat on a debut like that. Or be very good outside the rankings, just like Javid, to be able to beat him. I think Javid Basharat has the potential to get into the top 10. I think he's a very good fighter. And I think he's just going to get it done by late third round TKO. I generally think that he can get it done. And I think he's a better all-round fighter. And he just does everything he needs to do. So I think that his comfortableness and the opponents that he's beaten too. Like, don't forget, like, the opponents that he's beaten are very good. And I just think that, 13-0 against a 10-0 guy. So it is quite dangerous with the power. But I think Javid Basharat's got it in the bag. Third round TKO, in my opinion. Next fight on the card. Mateus Rebecki versus Nick Fiore. I'm going to go Mateus Rebecki by second round TKO. Oh, my dog. But yeah, the thing with Mateus Rebecki, hold on, let me get his name up. I'm not good with Polish fucking names. Mateus Rebecki. Alright, there we go. The thing with Mateus Rebecki is basically the Dagestani nightmare. I mean, he's 16-1. I get his topology up now. Like the people that he's beaten is unbelievable. He's got a good chin. He's strong as fuck for the division. I do think he's gonna get second on TKO. Hey, buddy. Okay. I genuinely think he is gonna get it done. I'm just getting up his record right now. What about Daddy Boy? Sorry about that. But yeah, obviously he has a win over Rodrigo Ledillo, 12-2. Ossie Pernan 7-2, Felipe Maya 10-4, Jose Barros Vargas 11-1, Fabiano Silva 30-12, Magomedov 12-2, Kike Brito 12-1, Dagia Imavov 12-2, Corpera 8-2, Golbeev, Golan Quistes, can't say that name, bro, that's mad. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has great wins, and this has led into the UFC. He's a very established 16-1 fighter. He's going to get it done by second round TKO. Nick Fury has fought absolute cans in his career, and he's had a very coddled career in a way. He fought a guy twice named Jay Ellis, right? And if you don't know who Jay Ellis is, he basically gets paid to lose to people, and that's the end of my notes for some reason. But yeah, Jay Ellis is one of those guys where he gets paid to lose to people, and he fought Jay Ellis in his pro fight, and then fought him again 7 months later. While Jay Ellis took a fight every month and lost every month, and then lost to Nick Fury again. Like, you know what I'm saying? He fights on New England cartel, but I don't see any potential in him to beat Mateusz Rebecki. So I got Mateusz Rebecki by second round TKO. Next fight on the card, Claudio Ribeiro versus Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I'm going to go with, there's no odds on this fight either. I'm going to go with Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Claudio Ribeiro has a bit of momentum. He has a lot of momentum going into the UFC. But the problem is that it's a big step up to go from a contender series level fighter to then fighting Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, don't forget, he's knocked out Nico Price. He's had great fights. I know he got knocked out by Chaos Williams, but he has great power, man. He went to a split decision with Joaquin Buckley, who's very good outside the rankings, even though he's chinny. Like, Abdul is a very good fighter, man, and you can't just completely disregard him. And I just think that the power early on, I can see a first-round TKO against Claudio Ribeiro. I can genuinely see it. I just think that Abdul Razak Al Hassan is the better fighter, and I just think that the power is a massive difference too. So yeah, I got Abdul Razak Al Hassan by first-round KO. It's a tough one, but I just don't see Claudio Ribeiro being able to just come in on his debut and do this. I really don't. So yeah. Next fight on the card. First fight in the main card. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Raoni Barcelos. Umar Nurmagomedov is a minus 750 favourite. Raoni Barcelos is a plus 550 underdog. I am going to go with Umar Nurmagomedov by 29-28 decision. I think he'll get dropped in the first round. The odds are ridiculous. It should be a 2-1 or 3-1. Raoni Barcelos beat Saeed, and that's very hard to do because he's a very good fighter. And the way I look at it is that Umar is very good, but the problem I have with Umar is that he makes fights, like, he dominates fights, but now he's getting to the realm of people who are actually going to give him very hard fights. And I know it says Umar is number 11 in the division, but at the same time, can't rely on that because he hasn't fought amazing competition. You know, Nate Maness isn't really great competition. But even though this fight's going to be very close, I do see Umar taking him by decision. I think he's a very good fighter. But yeah, it's interesting. But Raoni Barcelos is dangerous, man. But the problem with Raoni Barcelos is he hasn't looked the same in his last couple of fights, and I do believe that Umar's going to take advantage of that, and I think Umar's got this in the bag. 29-28, very dominant second and third round. Maybe he takes a couple of shots that he doesn't like, but other than that, I could see him taking it comfortably in the second and third, but losing the first round. Next fight on the card, Caitlin Vieira versus Raquel Pennington. Caitlin Vieira is a minus 120 favourite. Raquel Pennington is a plus 100 underdog. I am going to go with Caitlin Vieira. She beat Holly Holm. I don't give a fuck what any of you say. She clearly beat her based off the scoring criteria of MMA. I know the scoring criteria, so fuck you. Caitlin Vieira clearly won that fight, hands down. She has very improved boxing, very good in the pocket, and I think Raquel Pennington's going to have no choice but to go very close range with her. And I think Caitlin Vieira is going to take more than advantage of that. I feel like she's got the upper hand when it comes to that regard. And I just think that Raquel Pennington's going to have to grapple with her, and I don't think she'll be able to. I think it'll be a stand-up fight where Caitlin Vieira wins quite clearly by decision. I think it'll be 30-27 or maybe 29-28. And she's going to take this very seriously, because don't forget now, if she wins this fight, she can take Amanda Nunes for the belt. She can versus Amanda Nunes. And she's slightly taller, slightly longer reach, slightly longer leg reach. Much better record. 13-2 compared to 14-9. They've both fought great competition, but I do see Caitlin Vieira getting it done. Next fight on the card, Ponielli Soriano versus Roman Kopylov. Ponielli Soriano's a -150 favourite. Roman Kopylov's a +130 underdog. I was thinking of going with Roman Kopylov, but there's a big problem with him as of late, is that he's too patient lately. He's too patient, and against a guy like Ponielli Soriano, you're gonna get KO'd if you fight like that. The way he fights, he gets hit so much in the first round. I'm going with Ponielli Soriano by first round KO. It's hard because like you're fighting as if you're fighting in flyweight. Like, you can't be that open for shots. Like, the patience is fine. There's nothing wrong with the patience. And maybe, losing, by points a little bit because you're looking for the shot, or you're looking to time them in the second and then take over in the second and third. But, like, you get hit so much in the first round that Ponielli will put you out cold. And I think he will put him out cold in the first round. You can't be that open in the first round. You just can't. And maybe he's improved, but I just can't see it. I got Ponielli Soriano by first round TKO. I just don't see a situation where Roman Kopylov stops fighting the way he does, especially when he's coming off a win. So I got Ponielli Soriano by first round TKO. It's a tough call, though. It is a tough call, but I got him. Next fight on the card, the co-main event. Dan Ige versus Damon Jackson. Dan Ige's a -125 favourite. Damon Jackson's a +105 underdog. I'm going to go with Dan Ige. Hopefully he doesn't let me down. Damon Jackson is not that good. I know he beat Pat Sabatini, but I truly believe 9 out of 10 times Pat Sabatini beats him. I truly believe that still. Damon Jackson landed wasn't lucky, but he timed a good knee. Put him out. It's just, like, Dan Ige put up a very good fight against Josh Emmett, a fight that he arguably could have won. And someone like Damon Jackson makes all his fights close. Like, you take the Charles Rosa fight, for example. He hasn't improved much since the Charles Rosa fight. And he made that extremely close. It was an extremely close fight. And so I got Dan Ige by first round KO. I genuinely think he'll knock him out in the first round. I don't think Damon Jackson's grappling is going to be as to much effect. It can. And maybe he'll take down Dan Ige a couple of times, but I think Dan Ige will shrug her off and then KO him in the first. I do believe in Dan Ige as like a bottom feeder contender, so like a top 15 guy, because obviously he's number 13 right now. I think he is like a top 15 guy, and I do think that he beats a guy like Damon Jackson. I really do. So, yeah. Well, and anytime that Damon Jackson has versed anybody in the top 15, he's been blown out. I mean, look at the Topuria fight. That was nasty. So, yeah. Anyway, next fight on the card. The main event of the evening. The man, the myth, the legend, Sean Strickland versus Nasruddin Imavov. This is a pick'em fight. Right. This is a tough fight to call. It's a very tough fight to call for many reasons. If this was a full camp Strickland, I'd pick Strickland to win 3 rounds to 2. Because it's short notice, and I know he was the last main event of the 2022, I gotta go with Nasruddin Imavov. His striking has improved so much with the power, and he's fucking massive. Sean Strickland isn't the biggest middleweight, and he can't even make the weight. Obviously, they're fighting at light heavyweight now at 205, because obviously Strickland is out of camp. I want Strickland to win so bad, but I truly think Nasruddin Imavov's going to win with striking. I don't think he'll KO Strickland. I think he'll hurt him a couple of times, maybe, something that Cannonier couldn't do, because Strickland clearly won that fight, got robbed. Actually, you can't even label that fight a robbery. No, you can't. But Strickland won, in my opinion. You gotta go with Imavov, man. He's had the camp. He's a bigger guy. He's longer. And it's a tough fight to call. It is a tough fight to call. But actually, Strickland's got a longer reach. But at the same time, like, I got a longer reach than both of them. That's fucking crazy. They're both over 6 foot and I have a longer reach than them. That's mad. And I'm 5'9", by the way, if you didn't know. I'm 5'9" and I got a longer reach than them. But yeah, I got a 77-inch reach for 5'9". I got that Kevin Lee reach, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, that's mad. But I gotta go with Imavov, man. I'm gonna go with him by like a 3-2 decision where even Strickland thinks he lost. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I got Imavov. It's a tough fight to call, but I think Strickland will get it done. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all. If you're new, please like and subscribe. Like I said, I try to upload as often as I can. I'm keeping real MMA, as you can tell. So anyway, guys, please run up my past videos and just like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. This is Keep It Real MMA. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.